Hi there, and welcome to insidetracks.co.uk. We do this YouTube channel. We also do a newsletter, which you can join for free, and a website. If you like this video, please like it and share and subscribe and tell your friends. And if you want to be a patron, please do click on the I button and you can help me out and I can make more videos. Okay, look, scalping. Lots of people know about scalping, so this is not for people who are experienced, who use software, who know what they're doing. This is a simple guide. What is scalping? When do I go in to do scalping? When do I join a market? Where is it best to scalp? That sort of video is what we're going to try and cover today. So if you're very experienced and you use software, then don't come commenting that, you know, I should use software. Of course, use software, but some people are just starting out and just want to understand the principles of scalping. So using software often confuses that. So let's start off by looking at what is scalping. So here we are in Betfair. We're about 15 minutes before the off of a Royal Ascot race, the 6:10, and we see that we've got quite a few horses in this race, 28 selections, so a good variety of horses to scalp, and we have some good liquidity. 15 minutes before a race, and you've got 450,000 on. It's kind of 450,000 is not a bad amount for the whole amount spent on before the off on a normal race on a normal day. So we've got another quite some time. As we know, 80% of money comes onto a market in the last 10 minutes. So we're in a good position. Royal Ascot or other days when there's a decent amount of money going around on races is a good time to scalp. And what we see, we've got a favorite here, a horse I fancy, and we're going to have a quick look and see what situation he's in. So we click on that button, which gives you the chart for this horse, and we can see that lots of other people also fancy Aldari to win. He started out this morning overnight at about between 7 and 8, and then this morning he's been backed. And a little beat, but basically he's been backed all afternoon, and this money here is probably the last hour or so, maybe 30 minutes. One thing I look for in a horse is this number here, which is last price match, 4.6. And if I do a calculation and multiply 4.6 by 170, 4 times 400 plus 280 plus 80 is 760. So this horse is very much an overweighted horse, because if you multiply the last price match by the amount on this selection, and it comes out significantly more than the total on the market, it means that there is more money on this horse than you would expect, because if there was two even money horses, then you would take, and they both had £10 on them, so £20 is the amount there. Their price is 2 times 10 is 20. That means if they both have 10, they're both evenly matched and evenly supported. This is clearly what we call overweighted. Now, an overweighted horse and in the betting generally is like an oil tanker, really. It's slow to change its destination or its direction, so it will be slow to change from being back down. That will be slowly coming back up if it's not becomes people are trying to cash in on it. And so it's a good horse to scalp, because there's going to be, therefore, and you can see it in this, apart from early on when there wasn't much money on it, there's been very little real deviation. This is the biggest deviation we've seen, which is 5.4 to 6.1, say. So we've seen a 0.7 rise there. That was before this big money came in. After that big money's come in, there's been very little real variation here. You're seeing a very solid line So when it's going in that direction, it's going slowly but surely and not radically either way, which is exactly the situation you want to see in anything that you're going to scalp. Is you don't want to see huge variation unless you are prepared or you want to take more risk. So we can see here that also now the numbers that are going to be interesting is we've got 4.6, 4.7, and these numbers below the 4.6 and 4.7. Now it's 4.5, 4.6. So the numbers below those back and lay odds. Now I can back at 4.5. There's plenty of money there. If I want to put £20 on, I'll be matched immediately if I go for the blue box. But if in fact I want to try and scalp, I don't want to bet on or put money on that. What I want to do, I'll just change that back down, because otherwise I'm going to go and spend too much money. At £20, I don't want to do it at £20. So let's cancel that. Let's go for £5 a time, and we'll look and see. Okay, so it is actually drifting. There is a significant drift going on. At the moment, it was 4.5, 4.6. It has drifted. It will find a new level, which looks about just under 5, coming back in. So 4 point, yeah, so it's going to be about that level. It's got decent money under there, 1,600, 1,300 under there, 1,100 under there. So it's more likely to go back in, but it seems to be settling around 4.8, 4.9. So let's just say we're gonna take 5, because that seems to be where it's going out most. So we'll see if we can get a bet in on 5. Might not do, because it looks like there's a decent amount there. Yeah, so trying to get into the market, you're looking for trying to get in on this end. So we'll go down to 4.9. And we'll give that a go. This seems to be the top end of where it's coming out, it's settling out down here. And then what we're going to do in respect is we're going to get ready our lay bet of 4.8. And when that 4.9 is matched, which will be shortly, we're now even money. So I'm going to put that on. Okay. So we've seen the 4.9 bet matched. And now we're going to get hopefully a 4.8 match back down. Looks reasonably likely, although it's going to go out to 5 again, probably. So I might just put another one in there, because 5 seems to be the top end of this current betting range. And we're hoping to get a 4.8 in there as well. So let's see if we get a 4.8 in. Should do, because you can see it's bobbling around there. That 2,800 has to go down a bit. That 4.9466 has to come up a bit. So we're hoping that that's going to happen any second now. Should do. And then basically that's our first scalp that we've done once it hits the 4.8. We could hold out for more. I mean, it's obviously been trading down here at 4.5, 4.6. And it's also depends what your attitude towards risk is. I tend to like to do fairly small amounts with just sort of one click. So we've got the 4.8 in. Okay, so now we're in profit. We've got 50 pence on there. Are we going to do the 4.9, 4.8 again? Yeah, I think we will. We'll just try that again. Because now we've got a little bit in the bank. Come on, matey. We've got a little bit in the bank. And if we go a bit outside of it, we can always cash in. So we got one click in there. We're going to try and get another one in. So I put a 4.9 in there and a 4.8. It looks like they're evenly matched. See, 1,800, 1,900, 1,700. So they're evenly matched, going down up and down at about the same rate. So they're being matched out. So I feel reasonably confident. It's fairly stable. Nothing's majorly going on. We are coming up to within 5 minutes of the race, so I'm going to watch out because the last 5 minutes, lots of money comes in. So I'll just get one more scalp in. Should work. Because, yeah, so that's the 4.8 gone in. So now all we need is the 4.9 matched, which I can see being matched fairly shortly. If you do software, some of the software will actually show you where your bet is in the queue. And so you'll know better, and that is great information. BetAngel does some software where you can tell where your bet is in the queue. I know mine is fairly shortly going to happen because I put it on. There we go. I got the 4.9 in. So now we've got a pound in the pot, but we're beginning to now move into the last 5 minutes. So I'm not going to go on, but I'm just trying to show you what I look for. As you can see, it's 1806. It's the 10 past 6 race. So what we're going to start seeing now is more radical changes as the amount of money. If we look up here, we were 440. Now look what's happening in the last 5 minutes. It's going up in thousands per second almost. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Yeah, it's going up 1,000 every 2 or 3 seconds, and you'll see it going up even more as we come to the race. And now you're beginning to see a bit more movement in this. There's some people in the who perhaps put on money around about here at 7 or 6. They're just taking their money out at 4.8 and closing out positions. Often see that. This is a chart you can often see. It goes up to the last 5 minutes or so, and then some big money comes in. You see that big money there. That's a 7,500. Big money came in, was moved the price from sort of 4.4, 4.5 out to 5. We then came in here and did a bit of scalping because it stayed level, but now it's beginning to shift out again, and it'll find its level again, whether that's 5.2 or 5.3. And it might come back in again before the off. But there's going to be a bit more movement now because actually what's happening is money's coming in. You can see it's still a massively overweighted horse. If you take 5 times 300,000, that's 1.5 million. And the market's only had 744. So if I looked at some other horses, you'll see that this number here, 299, is a lot lower. Let's look at the second favorite. Boardman, 56, so much lower, a quarter of the money. Persuasion, 43. So this is a really hot favorite, and one that looks pretty good actually. If you were on it, you'd say it's pretty good. So overweighted horse. Sometimes what I like to do when I'm scalping is I like to look at where it breaks out. So it broke out 4.4, 4.5. It broke out, started drifting, and then you could see it settling around about 4.95. Then it's shot out against 5.4, settled there for a bit, and then it came back in. Now it seems to be settling around about 4.95. But as I say, I'm done with my scalping. What I have is a pound I can have as a ongoing for the market, and what I'm going to do is to either leave that to go on to the horse and take it if it wins, or I can do this, which is basically click on the cash out, and it gives me a green up. So now I've got 22p, no matter what actually wins. So that's what scalping is. I'll explain a bit more in just a second. So I hope that simple demonstration has given you some guides to what to do when you're beginning to scalp. Obviously, there are some steps to take. First one would be scalp when a race, when there's liquidity in a race. So you want to start scalping sometime around about 20 minutes before the race starts. That means there's some liquidity in the market. If you're on a big race day, you can probably do it earlier. But remember that liquidity tends to come in around about 20 minutes, and you're going to be scalping for a little while. When you start scalping, pick out a horse that tends to be overweighted. Remember what we did there? So we're looking for an overweighted horse that's got a stable graph. And then start your scalping with small stakes. Get something in the bank. So start off with £2 or £5 scalps and get those first ticks through and then get something in the bank so that if it goes the wrong way, you've got less chance of, well, you've got something in the bank which gives you a cushion and you can cash out and not make a loss. And finally, cash out before things get too volatile. So as the last 5 minutes comes into play, you'll start seeing things getting more volatile. And that means that your scalps that you've managed to collect and you've got some money going your way, suddenly the horse drifts or something and or shortens against you, and you find yourself losing your money. You should tend to play safe. So cash out on normal race days, probably about 4 or 5 minutes before the race starts. But you saw what happened in this demonstration. So judge it for yourself and judge when things are getting a bit too volatile. So hope you found that useful. If you're just starting out trading, there's some guides to try and help you to make sure that you don't get in there and go in and start losing money. Go in small, practice. Do lots of practice with small stakes. Take 20 pence a race. Be happy with it. It just builds up over a period. If you're trading, say, 10 races in a day, and you've done say 50p a race, that's a fiver that you've put into your trading fund. And if you start off small and then build up a little bit while you're scalping a race, then you can go from say a £2 to a £5 and so on. So you can actually start putting a little bit more away. And I tend to scalp and I hope for a fiver or a tenner a race. And if I can do that, I'm very happy. Okay, like if you do, subscribe if you want to get more of these videos. Become a patron if you want. It's in the information section up at the top right. That would help me. And very, very good luck if you are going to scalp and start trading. Let me know how you get on. Cheers.